Okay. Hey, plant peeps. Welcome back to LPLR Orchids and happy 2026. Just wanted to share some truths with you guys about keep your plants from looking like this. You know, things that we've learned over the last year of growing orchids, and, some truths that maybe are hard to swallow because you probably have done them too, and we have done them over the last year. So that's why we know they're true. And we'll probably show a few exciting things that are happening in the orchid room here at El Pilar to end the episode. First one in 2026. So let's get right to it. We'll get this out of the way for the people who only want to get the clickbaity, orchid title and just watch a couple of seconds of a video. Truth number one. You don't know enough. And yeah, we don't know enough either. And that's the problem with orchids. There's so many of them. And you just have to really know the plant that you're going to get and grow. And you got to know what's going to grow in your own home. So part of that is you just got to keep growing orchids. You can read enough online, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, you just got to grow the orchids and have a few die, and then you learn from them. So then if you do the research and you know what the orchid needs, then truth number two, you're lazy. That kind of goes with so much stuff, whether it's repotting. We've been doing a ton of repotting because we've been lazy on it, and some plants got like way overgrown and they just grew out of their pot. This one we just cut yesterday and split this Maxillaria because it was way overgrown and it needed to be done. The other half is over there in the corner. So you just get lazy on the plants, and sometimes that goes with bugs. With bugs, you see the bugs and you don't handle them right away. You just kind of let them go, and then all of a sudden they're taking over. So when you got bugs, you can't get lazy on it. You just got to do it. And also, if you know the plant needs more light or more watering or less watering or whatever, you just kind of get lazy and you don't do what the plant needs, and then that results in the plant going downhill. And with orchids, that takes like 2 years and you keep doing the wrong thing and whatever. And then, one thing that maybe isn't in our control, of course, is sometimes you get plants that just have bad genetics, and sometimes you get plants that just won't grow, even if you know what the plant needs, and then you provide everything that the plant needs, and it still won't grow, it still won't flower. Sometimes there's some unscrupulous dealers and vendors out there that will just sell whatever plants they can get their hands on, even though they know maybe it's not the best plant. Maybe the Grex, like whatever came out of the capsules, weren't great genetics, and so the plants are weak, and they just maybe will never bloom for you, and you keep trying, and you just won't do it. So those are kind of the three truths, as hard as they may be to swallow. That's what it is and what we found. And so for us, this year we want to get more knowledgeable, want to be less lazy, and want to get better plants. Not just buy a bunch of plants, but actually invest in like good, for us, breeding stock, which means a lot more money for a single plant that you got to find more easily than just ordering online. What's that?
You said 3?
Yeah, that was number 3. Yeah, no, number 3 is sometimes you just get bad plants. Yeah, number 1, you don't know enough. Number 2, you're lazy. Number 3, sometimes you just get bad plants. Those are the 3 truths. Yeah, let's look at some new things that are happening in the orchid garden, though, that we don't know anything, and we haven't learned enough, and we are still lazy. But sometimes, for us, so if you're new to the channel and you're just checking in, well, thank you. Maybe hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and comment and all that crap that YouTube makes you do. Anyway, Let's look at a couple of things that maybe some of you guys have seen before and some new things for you guys who are longtime viewers of El Pilar. Well, thank you. And we do have some new blooms that are coming on. A really good example of what I was talking about, not knowing enough and not being proactive or being lazy, is the catasetums. And I'll show you that one first as we take a quick swing through the garden and what's happening. Because in one of our last videos I said I was going to quit growing catasetums, and actually we have 2 catasetums in bloom, one of which is at the house and I can show you. The other is at school right now and we're still off. I'll try to get maybe some video of it or pictures in the next week. Yeah, because we've been away from school for a couple weeks, so I hope it's still in bloom over there. Anyway, let's look through the garden. Okay, so first off, real quick, swinging through is the Catasetum macroglossum, and the light is on. Here's the tag, macroglossum, species Catasetum. We've forced it into dormancy now, and it's got female flowers on it. And speaking of being lazy, of course, these things always have bugs, and it's getting some thrips on it now, and I've picked a few off of the ends of the flowers here. Yeah, I need to cut that spike off because I'm not going to do anything with it. It's female and it's going into dormancy, and I want it to grow better next year. And speaking of not knowing enough, well, we still are learning catasetums after growing them for like 4 years. We still don't know enough about them. Anyways, let's look at some other flowers. So even within a genus and not knowing enough, you still got to learn. And this was a Phalaenopsis pallens keiki that was given to us by one of the members of the Orchid board. She's now kind of gone inactive, kind of like we have. Anyways, it's finally blooming after like 2 years. Phal pallens. Really excited to see it. I have no idea what the flower is going to be like. But anyways, yeah, even within the Phalaenopsis, they take different requirements as far as heat. They can tolerate different things, like the Phalaenopsis japonicum here can take a bit colder temperatures. You can see it's in spike now. Every year it puts on a bloom, which is great. So nice to see it. And then learning new genera. Learning new genera. Here is a Barcaria that we grew mounted outside most of the year last year. Growing a new growth, and there's a tiny one in back. But anyways, not flowering yet. It is a species. But we do have one Barcaria. We do have one Barcaria that is in bloom. Another species here that we grow in a little glass, like modified water culture back there. You can see it. It did bloom last year on that dead spike. So 2nd year in a row blooming for us. Really happy to see it again. Pretty awesome. Little flower there. Nice pink. But those are not getting watered very much either. And now most of these shells are taken up by our seedlings. Got some more seed capsules on the way. You can see there. Oh, and in other exciting news, we do have our first seed capsules. Oops, breaking something. Our first seed capsules on Maxillaria. So I've never been successful pollinating Maxillarias. You can see a seed capsule there, still green, needs some time. That is the Maxillaria marginata. It has a white flower, fairly large for the Maxillarias. So yeah, it's a good grower, cool grower. We chopped all of this off from the mother plant, and it bloomed pretty soon after we cut it. So we've cross-pollinated that. with the Maxillaria schunkiana. So that's this plant here. And we also did the reciprocal cross, so we've got a nice seed capsule. This capsule actually looks a little bit better than the one on the marginata. It's a bit bigger and yeah, showing nice signs. Now these are small black flowers, like the blackest orchid flower that we have, really dark. So it's coming into full bloom. This is a true winter bloomer. Like now that it's snowy and we've got like a cold snap, now it's really coming into bloom. So yeah, I love this guy too, and probably after this bloom season we'll separate this into two plants, but that'll set it back. But anyways, and we have this table here up by the front windows of the little orchid room, and mostly it's Paphiopedilum, but we do have one species fowl, the Schilleriana, or no, sorry, this is the Stewartiana. And yeah, the Stewartiana is just opening up. We've had a couple of the buds blast this year on it. We're keeping it a bit drier than normal, and yeah, just kind of watering these aerial roots and like giving it a splash. Anyway, love the foliage on this guy, and it's starting to come back, and that's another plant that, you know, getting lazy. I need to repot it this spring. Yeah. Anyways, in Paphiopedilum news, if you're here for the PAFs, well, we do have successful seed capsule follow-up. Well, what looks like maybe a good capsule from the last video, the cross between the Ferianum and the Primulinum. This is the Primulinum here. Sequential bloomer, maybe it's done blooming now though that we've pollinated it again. And then there's the Ferianum still holding its flower. It's starting to fade. But yeah, I don't know if that one's gonna be successful or not. Go down. Will it focus? I'm at a weird angle. Let me turn the plant. You can see it's still like kind of hanging on and yeah, looking normal. So I don't know if that's a successful cross or not there on that one. But the Primulinum looks good. And a couple more of our hybrids. Parisiae exlimianum. Registered by Olaf Gruss originally in, I think, 2012 as Lima par. So that's what we've labeled all of our tags as with our number designation here. So some of our hybrids, and yeah, we did take the pollen off of this guy, the Venustum albescens. We took the pollen off because we want to cross-pollinate it with the Cerveranum. Here's the Cerveranum in bud. It's just about to pop open. So maybe check back in a week or so, or maybe a couple weeks. But that's a super long stem on a single growth plant. There it is. There's the Cerveranum. See down low, it's got some nice coloration at the base of the plant, so really nice little grower. And I definitely want to cross this one. It's apparently I can't find any hybrids with the Cerveranum as a parent. So yeah, we'll see what that flower looks like. Hopefully it blooms true, or maybe we won't breed with it, obviously. And then other paths in bloom, or about to be. Here's Papaloiae, finally, after 5 years of growing this multifloral path. It's a Paphiopedilum loii. It's putting on some buds, nothing for sure yet, but there's the plant. The first growth is now spiked, and the newest growth here started growing a couple years ago, so it does have a second fan. It looks really good. Hopefully, maybe that'll bloom and we can get more new growths. That's really what we want, is more new growths. And then a related species, the Robelinii. This one here is also in spike, and yeah, I don't know. It's already putting on a bud, and it's a super short. You know, I haven't done the kind of research that I need to. So speaking of knowledge, like I don't know I know these are related, the Lowii and the Robelinii, but I don't know exactly what the differences are and what I should be looking for, and is that a correct, like, that looks like a really short spike, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, these are most of the paths. These guys in back are also they're in low bud and have been for several months now, so just waiting on them. And also in low bud, we have the Path Bellatulum, so just starting to poke out the new flower. So excited to see that one again, and hopefully we can pollinate that with something. Maybe the Cerveranum. Extend the spike, because the Bellatulum, if you're not familiar with this, it's a really cool big white background, purple spots. See if I can find our old pictures. But it has a really short spike, like the flower just forms like right there at like it's right here, basically. So if we could extend that and maybe lower the spike height from the Cerveranum. Yeah, because that's such a tall inflorescence. Anyway, or spike, whatever. Yeah, so quick update on your paths. Yeah, the mother Maxillaria variabilis also needs to be kind of chopped and maintained. It's getting a bit out of hand. It's a huge plant. So love this guy. And yeah, should start, hopefully we start seeing some flowers on that soon. We need to give it some fertilizer. And we grabbed some cactus seeds over Christmas. And so a couple weeks ago we tried getting these to germinate, and we've had some luck. Now hopefully we can keep them going. They're like golden barrel cactus that the old man has at the farm there. We grabbed some seeds, and so hopefully we can get those to grow. That'd be cool. These couple plants here is a few we've set aside for Bailey. So if you're watching Bailey, internet kind of acquaintance, and yeah, hopefully we can get these plants to you in March. And the PAF seedlings we will give you, we have not really picked out yet. We'll wait and see which ones look the best when we get closer to March. So yeah, and other seeds we've got, so you know, for you longtime El Pilar fans, if you know, we've done a lot of breeding with the Tetraspis green. That's one of the Tetraspis greens is here, this big plant with the capsule. And so we're kind of reaching the end. Hopefully, so this is a sibling cross with another one of our Tetraspis greens, and yeah, this is kind of the end, the bookmark. I want to stop making hybrids, because basically every Phalaenopsis hybrid that we've had be successful has had this as the pollen donor, not as the parent. I mean, that's not true. We've had a couple others that show some promise, but basically this is in everything because it's such a strong pollen donor. But we could never get it to be a mother plant. And so now we're like, I want to be done with it. So we've cross-pollinated it with a sibling, and hopefully we can just get some more of those as seeds and continue maybe some line breeding with this species. You know, I'll try to again show some pictures because we don't have any in bloom right now. Yeah, it is kind of, I'm watering right now. So here is the sibling that we crossed it with. This is another one of our Tetraspis green plants, and it is it doesn't look great. It is in waterculture, like in a tiny shot glass, and it's been grown this way for, I don't know, maybe a year, something like that. And so it put on a couple flowers. We tried pollinating them both, or actually no, we only tried pollinating this one. And so it's pretty weak, as you could expect, and I probably shouldn't be doing this to this plant, but you know what, hopefully I'll get some seeds out of the other one, and then we can just move on from the Tetraspis green phase of our breeding, because I feel like it's in everything, and I just want to, I don't know. Hopefully we can get other stuff, like here's the Phal schilleriana that is in spike, also in water culture, and yep, blooms every year now for us pretty regularly, so very consistent. Just love the foliage. And yeah, we've not been successful with hybridizing with this plant either. And I would love to, because it's just such an amazing foliage plant. I love it. And the flowers are quite nice as well. You can check back in a couple weeks, hopefully, and see that one in bloom. And yeah, just a couple other plants that we're trying, growing in water culture. Überraschung. This is just a cross that we got a flask of maybe 4 years ago now. Something like that. Yeah, 3-4 years ago now. We deflasked, maybe 3 years ago I deflasked these Überraschung. And yeah, this is like the only one we have left. We've given just others away as seedlings, and a couple have died and whatever. But we just grow this one in water culture as well. And Überraschung in German means surprise. So I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. We'll see what it looks like if it ever blooms. We'll see. It's always an experiment here at El Pilar. And we did get the Christmas ham. I won't show you the ham, so we can, not get, it'll be YouTube friendly. And so we'll end on, the orchid that got kind of me all geeked up on the orchid thing after so many years of growing other houseplants. And this is like the orchid I first had success with. The boss, she bought me this, about, a little over 5 years ago, I guess now. And yeah, it just grew and grew, and you can see it's now in spike for the Piggy. There's Piggy. She has to say hi. It's now in spike for the spring, summer, getting ready, and it's been in bloom for like a year and a half. Here's the remainder of the oldest spike, still going strong. So this is just a no ID we got at a plant store here in town. Yeah. So I think Piggy says it's time to sign off. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Yeah, let's try to learn more, share our knowledge, and I'm going to try to not be so lazy. I know. The boss would probably appreciate that too. Hope you guys are having a good one. Stick together, stay focused, and we will see you back here at El Pilar soon.